Vest! Explosive vest! Quinn's hands pulled open the woman's robe. She saw it immediately. The wires, the components, the device strapped to the torso. The 6 Rangers who doubted her for 6 months froze. She had seconds to prove them all wrong, or everyone in that room would die. Welcome to Tales of Valor, where we honor the warriors history tried to forget. Kandahar Province, Afghanistan, 48 hours earlier. Sergeant Quinn Lawson checked her rifle one last time. Around her, 5 male rangers geared up in silence. They didn't look at her. They never did. For 6 months, Quinn had been the outsider. Cultural support team, that's what they called it. A polite way of saying, the woman we're forced to bring. Captain Derek Mason ran the briefing. Standard night raid. High-value target, possible guards, possible civilians. His eyes swept the team, pausing on Quinn with barely concealed doubt. Lawson, you hang back. Search the women if we find any. That's your job. The other Rangers exchanged glances. One smirked. Another shook his head slightly. Quinn's jaw tightened, but she said nothing. In the gear tent, Quinn strapped on her plate carrier, 40 pounds of equipment, rifle, ammunition, medical kit, radio. She moved with practiced precision, every buckle, every magazine, exactly where it should be. Staff Sergeant Mike Torres watched from across the tent. You sure you can carry all that? His tone wasn't encouraging. I'll manage, Quinn replied, voice even. Look, Torres said, lowering his voice, no disrespect, but this isn't training. Real situation, real danger. If things go wrong, I won't be the problem. Quinn cut him off, not rudely, just firmly. As she adjusted her vest straps, the fabric shifted across her right shoulder blade. Hidden underneath, a tattoo she'd gotten 2 years ago. A phoenix, orange, red, and gold, rising from flames. The unofficial symbol of the 75th Ranger Regiment, the bird that rises from its own ashes. She'd gotten it before anyone thought she belonged, a promise to herself. Torres walked away, shaking his head. The Black Hawk's rotors beat the night air. Quinn sat on the bench between 2 Rangers who'd positioned themselves as far from her as the narrow space allowed. Through her headset, Captain Mason's voice crackled. 5 minutes out. Rules of engagement. Hostile action only. We're looking for the target. Everyone else is secondary. Quinn closed her eyes. Not from fear, from focus. She'd trained for this. Hundreds of hours. The same courses the men took. The same standards. She'd passed them all. When she opened her eyes, Torres was staring at her. Not with contempt, with evaluation. Waiting to see if she'd crack. She stared back. Steady. Unblinking. The helicopter descended into the Afghan night. The team moved through the darkness in tactical formation. Quinn took her position, rear of the stack, where they always put her, out of the way. As they approached the compound, something nagged at her. The village was too quiet. No dogs barking. No sounds at all. She'd felt this before. Training exercise, Fort Benning 2 years ago. Her instructor's voice echoed in her memory. Trust your instincts, Lawson. If something feels wrong, it is. She keyed her radio. Captain, this doesn't feel right. Stay off comms unless you see something, Mason cut her off. Quinn bit back her response. They didn't trust her judgment. Not yet. The breaching charge detonated. Door exploded inward. Splinters, smoke, dust. Rangers flooded through the opening like water through a dam. Quinn followed, rifle up, scanning corners the way she'd been trained. Inside, chaos. Women screaming, children crying. 3 men on the floor, hands behind heads, already secured by the team. Clear left. Clear right. Lawson, get the women sorted, Mason barked. Quinn moved to the corner where 4 Afghan women huddled against the wall, traditional clothing, terrified faces. She lowered her rifle slightly, using the Pashto phrases she'd memorized. It's okay. We're not here to hurt you. Stay calm. 3 of the women trembled. One woman, maybe 30, locked eyes with Quinn. Too calm. Too still, while the others shook with fear. This one just watched. Quinn's instincts screamed. "Something's wrong," Quinn said, loud enough for Mason to hear. "Lawson, just do your job," Torres started. "Captain, this woman," Quinn gestured to the calm one. "She's different." Mason turned, frustration evident. "Search her then, quickly." Quinn approached slowly. The woman's eyes never left hers. No fear, no panic, just cold, calculated awareness. Quinn had studied the briefings. Female operatives were rare in this region, but not impossible. And this woman's posture, the way she held her arms slightly away from her body, protecting her torso. Quinn's hands moved to the woman's outer robe, felt the fabric, felt the layers underneath. Then she felt it. Hard, angular, wrong. Her blood froze. "Vest!" she shouted, pulling the robe open. "Explosive vest!" Time seemed to stop. The device was right there. Tan webbing, blocks of material, red, blue, and yellow wires, a small mechanism at the center. The woman's hand darted for a switch on her chest. Quinn's training took over. Her hand shot out, grabbed the woman's wrist, twisted it away from the trigger. Her other hand went to the wires. She didn't know the sequence, didn't know which was safe, so she pulled them all. Red wire, blue wire, yellow wire. Disconnected. The woman screamed, tried to fight back. Quinn drove her to the ground and used her body weight to pin the woman's arms. "Stay down!" "Get out!" Mason yelled at his team. "Everyone, out now!" "Wait!" Quinn shouted back, still holding the woman. She examined the device more carefully now. The timer display was dark. The wires hung loose. "It's disabled. The device is safe." Silence. 6 Rangers stared at Quinn, at the woman pinned beneath her, at the vest covered in enough material to collapse the entire building. Captain Mason's face had gone pale. He keyed his radio with a shaking hand. "Base, this is Ranger 2-1. We have a device situation. Threat is neutralized. We need EOD out here immediately." Torres stepped forward, looked at the vest, looked at Quinn. You saved us all." Quinn stood up, breathing hard, keeping her rifle trained on the woman as another ranger moved in with zip ties. "How did you know?" Mason asked quietly. She was too calm. Everyone else was terrified. She wasn't. And her posture, she was protecting her chest, keeping her arms away from her body. Mason stared at her for a long moment. "I should have listened. When you said something felt wrong, I should have listened." Back at base, 3 hours later, dawn breaking over the Afghan mountains. The team gathered for debrief. Quinn stood at the back of the room, same as always. But this time, Captain Mason called her forward. "What Sergeant Lawson did tonight," he addressed the assembled Rangers, "is exactly why she's on this team. She saw what we missed. She trusted her instincts when we dismissed them, and she neutralized a threat that would have ended us all." He pulled something from his pocket, a Ranger tab, the tan and black scroll that marked acceptance into the regiment. "This isn't official," Mason said quietly, holding it out to Quinn. "You're still technically CST on paper, but as far as this team is concerned," he pressed the tab into her hand, "you're a Ranger. You've earned it." Torres stepped forward first, extended his hand. "Welcome to the squad, Lawson." One by one the others followed. Firm handshakes, nods of respect, eye contact that actually saw her. The barriers were down. Quinn looked at the tab in her hand. Tan fabric, black letters, Ranger. She'd carried the Phoenix tattoo for 2 years, a promise that she'd rise above the doubt, above the dismissal. Tonight, she finally had. 2 weeks later, another mission, another Black Hawk cutting through the Afghan night. Quinn sat on the bench. This time, Torres sat right beside her without hesitation. Another Ranger across from her gave a brief nod of greeting. Captain Mason's voice came through the headset. 5 minutes out. Lawson, you're primary for the female search protocol." He paused. "But if your instincts tell you something is wrong, I want to hear it, immediately. Clear?" Quinn allowed herself a small smile under her helmet. "Crystal clear, Captain." The helicopter descended. The rotors beat their familiar rhythm. This time, she wasn't the outsider looking in. She was exactly where she belonged.